Ira, I'd like to first and foremost welcome everyone to the On Blast podcast. It is always a pleasure. We are happy to be here. I am more than thrilled. I know Ira is more than thrilled. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel. For anyone that has shown us love and support, God, we appreciate it because that's really what counts. You know, Ira?
Yeah.
It really makes us really appreciate you guys that much more because we feel like we're making our impact, we're leaving our mark on the world. And if we're not doing that, what's really the point of doing this? You know, we first and foremost, we do it for ourselves because it makes us feel good, but essentially we want other people to feel good from watching us on the podcast. Ira, you a little thirsty? A little bit?
A little bit.
So, Ira, tell us, what are we wearing today? What's the attire?
So this is my gym shirt.
Okay.
On underneath my other shirt. I took it off and forgot that I had it on. And
you're doing a little flex on us. A little Sunday flex.
Got a Sunday flex.
And you got a whole bunch of tattoos there I've never seen, Ira. What's that about?
How did you never see? You damn near almost seen me naked. Not there, but.
Well, I don't exactly pay attention to some details. When you send me half-naked pictures, that just so happily is one of those things.
It's still a work in progress.
A work in progress.
Yeah.
So what do we?
Into my arms and everything.
I think you have plenty.
Please.
What do we have in store for everyone today?
So today we're gonna be celebrating 420.
We're celebrating 420. I got my tapestry up, guys. That's how you know I am 100% in the 420 mood. And you know, me and Ira were talking a little bit earlier. We are more than excited for today's episode. We had the chance to see each other earlier today, not on blast for once.
Well, we put a few things on blast.
Okay, let's just be clear. Our conversations are always and will always be totally on blast, me and Ira. We love to truly talk about those sensitive things in life. And you know, we talked a lot today about, you know, the future of On Blast and where we'd like it to go. And it's really exciting to think about that. It's really, really exciting because, so I'll be honest, I only just got out of the shower about 5 minutes ago.
I can see it in your hair.
I totally lost track of time. Totally. I looked at the clock, it was like 1:40 and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, same thing happened to me too.
And I thought I was going to be totally prepared for today, and I turned out to be extremely ill-prepared, to say the least.
It happens.
I was in a giggly mood today. I think someone enjoyed 420 a little sooner than we expected.
I think I had a little too many edibles.
So, you know, and we have something in store for you guys today, and it's a little offbeat, and it's certainly outlandish. It kind of fits, I guess, whatever you would find normal these days because it is so.
Hold on, wait. Define normal, sir.
Well, precisely. Normal is whatever the fuck it is in your
Exactly.
own insane brain. Is what normal is. And you know what we have planned is it's different, and it's meant to be that way because the On Blast podcast is, again, it's a place for community. It's a place for us to just catch up, dick around, enjoy ourselves, talk about really sensitive shit, but like at the same time you got to be able to keep it light. You want to keep it light.
Well, hold on. You see, keeping it light is something I struggle with, and you know this firsthand because I make everything fucking difficult.
Everything is difficult with Ira.
It's not the right way.
Ira picks the hard way every time, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't help it. I mean, literally, it's been my MO my whole life. Like, if you tell me to go straight, I'm gonna go up and around, over and about, and just destroy whatever's in my way.
Yeah.
But it's all stuff that it wasn't gonna be in the way, but became in the way because I made it in the way. Oh,
well,
wow.
I think we do that often. Was that a play on words?
Yeah, it was a play on words, and I didn't even realize it. Did you see the 360 full circle come back?
Yeah, so as I said, I'm a little foggy because I only just sat down. But
Wait, do you have real-time captions on?
I don't believe so.
There's captions coming out of your mouth.
Why?
I don't know.
Really? Every day is a mystery, Ira. I don't know, man. Look, we're trying to do our good deed by gathering the world in this one place every Sunday. And let me tell you, Mark Zuckerberg, you got to sort this Facebook Live shit out, bro. It is a headache.
I don't think Zuckerberg has anything to do with Facebook anymore. I think he was just like, man, fuck this shit. I'll just let the other guys run it.
I'm not entirely involved with him, but I'm sure he's somewhere on the board, or say he's got to have a hand. Anyway, live used to be easy. Go live, add this many people. Now when you go live, it's
now you only have one person.
There's like 50 glitches. There's 1,000 different things. And one thing we didn't talk about today, Ira, and I want to talk with you and the audience about, I want to consider pre-filming our videos because live is kind of limiting us. And this is one of those reasons. You know, there's so many hiccups with going live. And I like live because it's in real time. It's for you guys to chime in, join, bullshit with us. But it's just, it's just so much of a headache. I mean, am I wrong, Ira?
Well, I mean, our experience so far has been less than fruitful. But the substance in between is what makes up for the gap. But I definitely find that, you know, we could be a lot more creative, you know, if we were filming, you know, beforehand. Plus, then, you know, we can do some editing, things like that. But more so, it allows the hiccups to basically be prevented.
Yeah, we could definitely work through some kinks and avoid any interruption for you guys because, you know, more often than not.
It would also stop us from looking incompetent.
Look, you can think whatever you. This is where I was going before you totally derailed me. What we're doing today is certainly outlandish, and I'm very aware of that. Ira is very aware of that. The On Blast podcast is very aware of that. But it is done with zero reservations. And I say that because we, or me, or the podcast, you have to brand yourself in this world. And what you put out is how you're going to brand yourself. And people will interpret that a certain way. And I want people to know that the On Blast podcast is, we're going to talk about serious shit, but we're going to have some fun. And today is just a testament to that very statement that we're here to have fun. We can work hard. Don't make no mistake. You got to be able to put in the time. If you want to play, you got to put in the time, the energy. Yeah. And that is exactly what we're doing with the On Blast podcast. We put in a lot of time, a lot of effort into things that we have a lot of shit planned, which is really cool. You know, for our 3 followers, I'm sure they're really excited about that.
Yeah, more than 3 followers. Come on.
Yes, and I have to thank the audience. They've been. Yeah,
I mean, the audience has been great.
Just wonderful. You guys are awesome. I've had more people reach out to me. We're doing really well on YouTube. It's a slow moving train, but I'm in no rush to get anywhere.
Same here. Because I mean, even if we have 0 viewers, we're still gonna do it. Yeah,
this is just something that, Ira, we talked for like 2 hours today at Starbucks, and we're still on blast talking.
Yep. I mean, we've been doing it for almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
So it's only right that we put it on air.
Listen, folks, there's just something that's so right about shooting the shit with the right people. You got to have the right people in your circle. Ira. Last week,
drink you under the table with water.
Yeah, knock yourself out, buddy. I'll give you a cookie when you're done out drinking me.
What kind of cookie?
No more of the cookies you've had today.
Damn.
So, Ira, let's talk about what we wanted to dive into today. Last week was serious. We talked about some nitty-gritty shit, relationships, narcissists, I mean, the dimness of the world, and just overcoming a bad day. And today we were thinking, how do we want to pivot? Where do we want to go? How are the viewers going to be receptive to this? Can we make them, can we relate to them on a deeper level? And it's always about building that community. And we came up with a couple ideas today, if you'd like to share, Ira.
Well, I mean, one thing that, is prevalent, and I brought it up on the last podcast, it's basically healing from, toxic relationships. And I feel that's something that not a lot of us are privy to, or even have an idea of how to even heal, because the aftermath of stuff, a lot of times, like, when we go through these situations in life, like the aftermath usually is, there's just damage, and how do you get over that damage? And we really don't, and a lot of us carry a lot of baggage on us. We go from one relationship to the next, with fucking shit ton of suitcases and stuff you didn't even know you were carrying with you.
Are we talking, so let's be clear, are we talking just like intimate relationships, or are we talking like friendship relationships?
Oh, you can go anywhere with it. I mean,
okay,
you it can be family, your friends, lovers, you name it. Like anybody that can be in your life can be toxic, or it could just be two people just do not mesh, and it just becomes a toxic situation, and damage ends up becoming the end result.
That's a tough
prime example, dude. Look, like, and I don't want to rehash old wounds, but
please, I don't mind.
You were fucked up for a while, like, when you went through your divorce and everything, and I mean that was some fucking serious baggage to carry, man.
It's funny you bring that up, because last week I felt it really, really hard. I explained on last episode. I was going through it last week, man. I was starting to feel exactly that. You talk about baggage. I go so fast, and I know you know that feeling, but I have that personality where I don't stop. I don't know how to. It's just like in my DNA. Even when I'm relaxed, I'm not relaxed. I don't know how to relax, which is why I dedicate a lot of my time to work, because I go, but it's also productive. But I felt it last week, the baggage. The baggage is the worst thing ever. And baggage is just just not recognizing the trauma or the experiences you've gone through. And I say to a lot of people, because I don't think they realize it, your baggage only gets heavier the older you get. So if you don't confront that shit immediately, it is only going to weigh you down. And guess what happens to good relationships? Now you're fucked on good relationships, because you're so twisted in the things that have happened to you in the past, and subconsciously you don't even know how to recognize it. You let it trickle into your new good relationships, and you burn these bridges with people, and before you know it, the damage is done.
So how do you stop that from happening? There's one word.
I think confronting our demons is a tough thing to do, but I think that's what's got to be done.
Well, what do you got to do before you can confront a demon? You need to identify.
Yeah, you talk about that very often, Ira.
Because it's one thing that, it's one of the small steps, but it's the most crucial step. You need to identify what a fucking problem is before you even try to overcome it. And when I say identify, I don't mean just say, oh, this is what the problem is. Like, really dissect that fucking problem, because you're going to have to look at all aspects of it.
But not everyone can do that. Now, you can identify a problem. I can. But what about the people that don't have the ability to sit there and look themselves in the mirror and say, there's a serious problem here?
Well, one thing is if they're tuning in right now into our podcast, education is the first way to learn. And I didn't know how to identify anything until, somebody had pointed out how to do so, and it really takes, just someone to put it out there, either just sharing experiences or, digging into the psychology of how you thought in the time of when you were identifying or even trying to fix and repair a broken relationship.
Yeah, that's tough, man. It's hard, and for me, for somebody who's extremely headstrong, I play a lot of head games with myself, probably a lot of unnecessary head games, because I'm always tickering in my head, and I'm always trying to understand better, and always digging a little more, and I'm not entirely sure where that stems from, but I have this overwhelming need to understand things, and I don't understand the folks that have trouble pinpointing those things that are toxic in their lives. And I feel for them because they carry that baggage and they don't even care for themselves by allowing that baggage to be with them. And they don't have any idea how to overcome it because they literally don't know how to identify it. They don't think it exists.
But there's exactly, that's where I was just about to go with it, and then there's a lot of times where, we could be so accustomed to these toxic relationships that we've come to accept that this is what it is. Like, and that goes from one to the next to the next when they just don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, if you've dealt with that over and over and over and over, it becomes you. So how do you get out of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, then think of the momentum that you get over the years from carrying this baggage. You develop new ways of life because of the baggage. You develop new routines. You develop new coping mechanisms. You develop new ways of communicating, not positive, but
Right.
you develop all these things. And now you've got 15 years, 10 years, a year, a month of momentum of being so goddamn hard on yourself and not being hard on yourself, just not paying attention to what's been going on. And you've got all this momentum. Think how hard it is to just, okay, I want to change now. I identified that's a problem. Like, that was something I dealt with for a long time in my relationship with Danielle. And she had a lot of years of momentum and baggage that had nothing to do with me.
But it became your problem anyway.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with me, but I was married to her, and I owed it a great debt to her in my head to help her overcome those things. So that's a good instance of, okay, we identified something, but now we were just being naive. I don't even know if that word explains
maybe stagnant.
A stagnant. I mean, no, those words just don't explain enough.
Yeah.
The depth of, okay, now you see there's a toxic issue in your life within your relationship, but now you're just not doing anything about it.
It spreads like a cancer.
And it destroys everything, man. It destroys everything.
I watched it. I mean, with you, I watched it, and I had to sit on the sidelines and watch you go through this stuff, and I felt for you the whole time. Obviously, I was there for you every, step of the way if you needed me.
Yes.
But it's more so like I knew what you were going through. I've never been married before. I've never gone through a divorce, but I've had some relationships that, with narcissists in a way where, I know exactly how fucked up that can get and just how consuming it becomes because, like I said, it's like a cancer. It spreads, and just trying to cut that off is one of the hardest fucking things to do, and, I commend you when, I definitely commend you that, you saw the light, but you did everything in your power to try and avoid that particular issue. Like you tried everything to try and repair, and you got to that point where it's like, you want to know what? There's no more. Like, what can I do? I've done everything I could possibly fucking do.
It comes back to just not giving up on people. I just don't know. I'm learning because I know it's something I'm inherently not very good at, but I am not good at cutting my losses and recognizing a bad investment. I'm committed all the way, and I double down, I double down, I double down. And a lot of people do that. I'll give you one more chance. I'll give you one more shot. Well, how many times am I going to let you cheat on me? How many times am I going to let you lie to me? How many times am I going to let you backstab me? Are we just going to keep doubling down and doubling down? When is enough enough? When is the straw that breaks the camel's back going to be enough? When is where's the nail in the coffin? When is it enough? When do we stop doubling down and we start doubling up for ourselves?
Well, I mean, and that's where, you know, once you've come to, you know, that point where there's just no coming back, you know, you just got to take your steps, you know. And the same thing rings true with like just, you know, regular friendships, you know, because like
Exactly.
relationships aside, like, dude, I've had so many people that I was their friend, but they weren't my friend. And that's a big fucking difference. And that's where a lot of people get some things fucked up, because they think, oh yeah, that's my friend. Yeah, I might be your friend, but are you really my friend? Would you go to the same lengths that I would go? You know, and then a lot of times, you know, we have those types of friends and they just use and use and use and use, and they constantly just step over you, like, and they get so used to it that it's the
That's the
normal for them.
dynamic. That becomes the dynamic, and you let it happen by doubling down and letting it happen, and not saying, you know what, this is enough. This is enough. Because you know what, frankly, a lot of relationships I had, whether they were intimate or just friendships, I knew they were done. These people, I mean, I could have told you from a mile away exactly all the things that were going to happen to me last year. I knew they were coming. It was just a matter of time. That's how predictable was it. And I had to say to people I love to death, no more. That's it. I endured a lot of trauma from my own decisions. Those were my choices. I made those choices. I made the choice to split up with Danielle. I made the choice to stop letting the guys in my house that were losers that were now sleeping with my wife. I made the choice to stop talking to drug addicts that were, again, with my wife at the time. You know, I made the choice to stop having anything to do with the people that were toxic, because you know what? Everyone loves you, but nobody likes you. And that's just that's a hard fucking thing to understand. But, you know,
Can I stop you there? Like, just listen to the gravity of everything that you just put out. Like,
yeah,
drug addicts, cheating.
Oh yeah.
You know, like,
if
dude, that shit's fucking heavy, man.
Oh yeah, those aren't. I talk about them very casually because they happen.
You lived through it. It's now past. But dude, you really think about how fucking heavy that shit is, though. Like, that's not something to shake a stick at. Like.
Oh yeah, no, it's and you know what? It became so normal to me. Do you know why? Because I let it. I let it because I kept doubling down and believing in people that didn't fucking care. And shame on me. Shame on me. But I learned. I promise you, I learned.
And the thing is, though, is once you learn and then you start making the necessary changes, the other party, oh man, like, because now you're disrupting their wave of the friendship.
Let me tell you,
of the relationship, the dynamic.
I never understood the meaning of a coward, and I hate to put that on a person, but last year I realized a lot of the people that I assumed were friends were cowards, because these were people that I would have saved their life and their family and taken the shirt off my back for, and they were bad-mouthing me. They were bad-mouthing me. I had never given them a reason to bad-mouth me.
But yeah, here they were still doing it.
Was I not good enough to you? Was I not fair with you? Was I not understanding? Did I not double down for you? And we do that in these toxic relationships, and we just expect this dynamic to change. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But I'll tell you one thing about my sixth senses. My gut has rarely been wrong about people. And I hate that. I hate that because I see it from a mile away, and I know this person's going to screw me over, but I give them a chance because I want them to just surprise me. Just surprise me for once. Don't do exactly what I know you're going to do.
Yeah.
And again, that is my fault. They shouldn't have any chance. If I know that's the coming, I should just cut my losses then and there. But I think it's important to give people chances, because again, I don't like to just give up on people. Whoops.
No, I mean, I don't like to give up on people either, and that's something I struggled with when growing up. because I was just like you, you know, doubling down, doubling down, doubling down. And,
Yeah.
you know, I would get so pissed off that people would constantly be doing this. And I constantly keep having friends that, you know, that are fucked up. But I didn't pay attention to the reality of the situation, that I was to blame for it because I allowed it to fucking happen, you know, and I kept allowing it to continue. And, you know, it slowly started working on, you know, cutting those people out, you know. And the thing is, though, is unfortunately, you know, with me in the situation I'm in, I'm home from prison, on parole, all that stuff, you know, I have to constantly think about who the fuck is in my circle.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have to be super careful about who comes into my car, into my home, all that stuff. So if you're into some fucking crazy shit, like, no judgment to you, but you're staying the fuck over there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm allowing that to come around. Like, my girl, my kids, my home, my father, anybody.
We,
You know?
yeah, we have to protect those things that mean the most to us. And I think we can all do a better job at it, but we have to actually give a damn about ourselves. And that's really hard to do because a lot of people like us, Ira, are givers, and they want to give. It's what makes them feel good. And I would never take that away from a person, but you have to not be naive and have to realize, hey, it's time to give back to me. I've already doubled down on this person for the last 5 years,
Well, I mean, when does one
you
hand
know,
wash the other?
and you know, it's tough. What happened here?
We had a glitch.
Oh, we're glitching. I expect nothing less from Facebook, honestly.
Yeah.
It lets me know that we're still on the air when I see a glitch. But how do you repair after you recognize those toxic relationships?
Well, me, myself, what I do is I slowly start distancing myself from the person. And once I
Okay.
start doing it, you know, I wait for them to bring it
Let
up
me
to my
ask you.
attention. Yeah.
I don't mean to derail you. Is this a lonely process?
It's very
Getting
lonely.
repairing yourself? Is it?
It's very lonely. And the
Yeah.
thing is, though, is as lonely as it is, you know, it's equally rewarding.
No, that's good to hear, and because I think people think it's supposed to be easy and every day is supposed to be the best, and I think we're really hard on ourselves in that sense. And I promise you, and I want to assure you that every day is not meant to be the best. Every day is not meant to be rainbows and butterflies. Some days you're going to be depressed, and
Oh,
you
man.
should embrace it because you earn it, and you need that time for you. Okay. And you need to know that it's all right to have those bad days while you're going through that process because it
Mm.
can get lonely.
You know, lonely is a bit of an understatement. But it is a lone process because it's something you need to do, you know, one, to liberate yourself, but also at the
Yeah.
same time, um, it's better to not bring other people into it more so. So therefore, you know, you're making your decisions based on what's best for you, not based on the opinion of another. That's why I had a bit of an issue, you know, when I used to be told, you know, to confront these issues with a psychiatrist or psychologist. And I never really wanted to utilize a service like that because when I was repairing, you know, I wanted to come to, I wanted my answers and everything to come to fruition from my own, you know,
Yeah.
not from somebody else. Because for me, to get past something, I need to learn. And in order to learn, you know, I really have to dig deep. And by digging deep, I then in turn am learning more about myself, and I'm able to attribute new behaviors and new mannerisms, you know. And aside of it, you might be working on one particular issue, but you can identify a number of other things that, you know, are being corrected in the process because a lot of times these issues are compounded.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
it's never just one thing. It's never just one thing.
Oh no, I think they're very complementary of each other too. They these mannerisms and these ways you act without ever knowing in a relationship are very again subconscious. But I think it is liberating to go through that process of repairing. And I can tell you firsthand, yeah, lonely doesn't quite say it all, but it is so worth it when you get to where you're going.
Yeah.
It is to see the fruits of your labor is just an incredible feeling to know after a year of what I write in my journal felt like war. It felt like war last year. I felt
I
like
can imagine.
I used to write about it. I felt like I was at battle every day. If I wasn't at battle with people I knew, I was at battle with people. I was at battle with myself. And frankly, I don't know what was worse, to be honest. But it felt like I was at war some days. And to finally get to the end of the road, or even just to get to a point in the journey to look back and say, like, wow. Like, and I say it to you too, Ira, look back at the beginning of the podcast. I used to dream of being where I am today, and I'm here. Like, that's so fucking cool. Like, people don't realize it. Like, you can dream of where you want to be, and you can actually get there. It's possible.
Well, I mean, that's like I dreamed for 15 fucking years of a
Yeah.
better life. I'm fucking here, man.
I'm
I'm fucking
cool.
here.
Yeah.
And when I say a better life, I mean free of fucking addiction, free of the toxicity that I had around me.
Yeah.
Free of my own fucking mental prison that, I honestly, dude, I was trapped up here. I was really fucked up. I was a really damaged individual.
Yeah.
And, for many years, it was just like, God damn, like, why the fuck do I keep fucking ending up in fucking prison?
Yeah.
And like the light bulb went off, and I dreamed and dreamed and dreamed and wished and hoped, and you want to know what? Fucking, my prayers were answered, man. It might not have been answered in the exact way that I wanted, but you want to know what? It was answered.
It was answered on time. That's all that matters, right?
Yep.
Because you're going through these toxic relationships with people, and they can be so damaging. They can be so fucking damaging. And I think that's why it's really important for me these days to treat every interaction I have as the most valuable interaction I'll ever have. Because to me, it is truly that valuable. And I hold that very high on a pedestal in my head. And when you fucking dick me over, I am not as forgiving as I was a year ago.
No, you're not.
So now I have a new set of issues. A year ago, you could have gotten one over on me. Now I won't even give you a chance. So now I'm just like, whatever. So
And then you stick me on them.
Yeah, now that's a new problem in and of itself, because now I'm just not giving people chances at all that might even deserve a chance. So again, it's back to baggage.
All right. So that's a crucial part right there. You need to be able to identify that you're making that mistake.
Oh, yes.
Because I mean, and it's good you bring that up, because that's something I don't think anybody paying attention to this podcast right now would have connected the dots to it themselves. Like a lot of times, everything's black and white, and that's a gray area, and the gray area, a lot of times you need to be able to focus and see. And me, I'm a black and white person. And I've been trying to work very hard on the gray areas in between. And I mean, dude, it's been a struggle. It's definitely been a fucking struggle.
We have blind spots for the people we love.
And we don't have rear view mirrors.
Well, we do in the car.
Well, I hope you do in a car.
I thought about taking my rear view mirrors off the motorcycle today, but that's a total side mirrors. Total side note.
Oh, wait, another side note. Did you get the sidecar yet?
No, I did not get a sidecar.
God,
sorry. But we have blind spots for the people we love. And I'm not saying that you should just cut off your relationship that you feel is not working out, because you know what? I think I've seen a lot of relationships not work out, and they make a comeback. And
well, I mean, the thing is, though, is you do got to ask yourself, is this a relationship worth saving? You know, what's the bright side? Like, what are the good things? You know, and if I'm at this point, you know, am I in a position where I could bring this to this person's attention and have them actually hear me out? Because I think that would be a crucial part too. Because if you're gonna cut somebody off, at least give them a chance.
Notice, here's your eviction letter. See you later.
But I mean, more so, like, and one thing, and this what I mean, dude, this fucking drove me nuts because, you know, technology now and how people communicate, like, I'm still getting used to. But one thing that drove me fucking crazy was when people just start ghosting for no fucking reason. Like, it was something I could not fathom. And it, like, dude, so many people do it because it's so easy. But they're doing that because that's the easy way out. Whereas actually confronting the actual person or the issue.
Yeah.
And bringing it to, you know, their attention or whatever the case may be, and then being honest, because that's another thing. Even when
it's hard,
people on Ira, and shit, they still couldn't fucking tell me what was up.
Ira, it's hard. People are so accustomed to this disposable relationship idea, and they don't even know it. If they don't want it, they just get rid of it. They don't even care what that means to another person. They are so blind to that, and it's so easy to just ignore a text or not take a phone call, and I do it often, but I'll tell you right now, I usually get back to people.
You always do.
Always. I make a solid effort. People I haven't heard from in years. I you know, a couple weeks back I reached out to a lot of people that I really looked up to, and I was really, really disappointed how few got back to me. And it's sad to see, but it's true. It's easy to just say, hey, okay, goodbye. Like, you know, you were a part of my life, but you're no longer my life now. And that's fine and dandy. But, you know, the relationship thing is like a bank account. You make deposits and you make withdrawals. You can't make too many withdrawals, or you're going to overdraft your shit, and you're not going to have any goddamn money. Do
not remind me.
You have to make deposits into your relationship. It's a two-way fucking street. If you're in a relationship it's just take, I hope people take a hard look at that, because, and I only say it from experience, I was in that relationship and mine didn't work out. And it was just take.
It rarely ever works out.
But it does on occasion. You know, I think on occasion, you know.
If you're a sugar daddy.
Well, you know what they say, love will find a way, Ira. But unfortunately, love does not put food on the table and keep you from losing your mind. So you have to pick, you know, what you want and what you don't want. And, you know, I learned a lot about relationships this year. I was around a lot of good people in the last, you know, few months at least, and towards the end of last year. I learned a lot that relationships aren't really very understandable. You can't really, they're not very tangible. You can't put it in your hand and say a relationship is this. Because a relationship is so many things, and it's so
it's so fucking complex.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing if it's two of the right people. But I hate seeing people give more in a relationship, and their partner takes and they give and they double down and they fall into that dynamic, because it certainly becomes a dynamic you don't want to be in.
Yeah, I agree.
It's rough, Ira. It's rough out there, baby. People are doing the best they can. I understand that. I'm open to that. I'm happy to see people are fighting a good fight. You know, and just, you know, as far as the repairing, you got to figure out what sets your world on fire. You gotta have something that you're passionate about, something that you can chase, something that means the world to you. Because for me, I've been chasing Whiteboard Worthy, my clothing brand. I've been chasing the On Blast podcast. I've been chasing emails on the daily, things people would never know about. And those are the things that bring me alive, and it kind of distracts me from some of the other things in life, because I need that distraction. I'm not ignoring them, but there's days I need those distractions because I don't want to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean,
speaking of distractions, so why don't you tell the audience as to why we're celebrating 420 on 418?
Oh, well, audience, the On Blast podcast. Can you hear me good? Testing.
What's that?
Testing, 1, 2. Can you hear me good? Okay.
Yeah.
On Blast. We've got a busy week ahead. Tony and I are here. I'm talking about myself in third person here.
Isn't it awesome?
I'm a real psychopath now. At the beginning of the podcast, I talked about branding yourself, and I still believe in it. Chase your fucking dreams. Don't let anyone get in the way. As long as your heart is in the right place, that's all that matters. If your heart's in the right place and you suck at everything else, you've got my vote. I love people that can do what they feel is right, even if it's different. So I wanted to play a little song for you guys to wrap up our podcast. And we're just going to chill the last couple minutes here, all right? I hope you guys enjoy the song. It is made truly by my little sister, Isabella. She's got a passion for music. And damn, she's good. She's good. She's 14, so she needs a little kick in the butt. But she's good. So I want to play you guys this song. We're going to hang out the last couple minutes and take it nice and easy. Ira
just popped in.
Ira, if you can't hear it, please let me know. In 3, 2, and 1.
Just feel this sound. So enjoy the show in the front row of On Blast Podcast. Yeah. They hit me up to need a song for 420, so I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I wrote the song, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Lately, but I've been real bold with the hair. She might be changing colors like you don't care. Tony sitting here with the long hair. Baby on camera showing the field. Spend hours and hours with no meals. They be rolling it up. Take a little hits. Drink it from the cup. Take a little sips.
Oh, this is my
And
jam.
take the time to shine. It took a while to find these rhymes. It taking you guys back to the good times. But it's all on blonde. They be on fire. Getting rid of the lions. They be rolling it up. Take a little hits, drink it from the cup, take a little sips. I be hitting the vape, Tony hitting the pipe. It's not even fake. Yeah, to you guys, like, what can the lungs take? Yeah, we be rolling it up, take a little hits, drink it from the cup, take a little sips. That's the end, folks. Please stay a while and chill with Tony and Ira on the On Blast Podcast. Bye. Happy 420.
Sounds that East Coast sour diesel, man.
Happy 420 to the On Blast podcast. This is my message to you guys. You can be anything you want to be.
Yes.
Even if it seems impossible, go for it. Like, who knew I'd be here 25 doing exactly what I love? I may have lost my mind, but it's important that we do. I'm doing exactly what I love. And it's like, it doesn't get any better than that, man.
I mean, that's like, dude, I'm 39. I'm living a life now that I never thought I'd ever have. But I mean, aside of that, dude, I never fucking dreamed like that, you know. I dreamed, but I never thought I'd ever be on a podcast. You know, I always wanted to do it. But the thing is, though, is anytime I ever brought it up to anybody, especially you, well, why don't you? And that question never really sunk in. You know, and then I did say, yeah, why the fuck don't you? And we had that light bulb moment when you were on video with Carlos.
That
This is how we're going to do it.
I was like, Ira, what are we doing? We could be doing this the whole time. Ira, I've been watching The Hunger Games the last couple nights. I heard a lot about The Hunger Games years ago, and I finally finished all of The Hunger Games last night.
You read all the books last night.
No, the movies. I can't read. You kidding me? So I
knew that answer was coming.
So I watched the movies, and one thing that they said, and I want to share with you. and I hope the whole On Blast podcast community, I hope this resonates with you. Hope has to outweigh fear.
Yeah.
Because if we live our lives in fear,
you never know what may come.
You never know what may come. Nothing may come if you live your life in fear. But if you live your life with hope and you give shit a chance and you're willing to do risky things, you have to do things, calculated risks in life, whether it be business or personal. You have to be willing to take those chances. That's all it comes down to. So I wanted to say happy 420 to everyone on the On Blast podcast. And I love you guys. You guys are the best. We appreciate your love and support. We cannot thank you enough. As you can tell, I'm a little stoned.
Yeah, I see it. Welcome to my world, buddy.
I'm getting in my feels. So if smoking on a podcast seems out of this world to you, I just want you to know I put in 80 plus hours of work a week. I put my time in.
Yeah, you do.
I put my time in, and you have to do that before you go doing stupid shit. But yeah, I mean, any closing thoughts, Ira? I know you got a busy day ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a busy day. I mean, my closing thoughts, man, you know, just with the toxic relationships, just be easy. You know, be easy, approach them with care, but also be easy on yourself. You know, you can't be too hard on yourself. You know, don't beat yourself up when you're trying to repair because you only make the situation worse. You know, just take it lightly, one step at a time, one little thing at a time, one thought at a time, which seems impossible, but you want to know what? Fuck it, you got to do it. Because one step at a time is how you're going to get to the goal. And if you want to repair having those bad relationships, you got to start with yourself. So be easy.
I couldn't agree more, Ira. We have to do a better job at caring about ourselves in this world because more often than not, we neglect ourselves. And we've got to get to a point where we can stop doing that. And I know it's hard, but like Ira said, you got to care for yourself. Handle yourself with care when you're going through these processes and so on. So with that being said, Ira, it is always a joy. I got to talk to you twice in one day, and we got to celebrate 420 on the podcast. Next week,
We did more than talk. We hung out twice today.
Yeah, we hung out.
We hang out every Sunday.
Yeah, we got to hang, talk next week on the podcast. We have another little surprise. Not anything crazy,
Oh, yeah.
but we won't disclose that at this very moment because I do have some people that would probably love to know where I am at any given time. So, with that being said, Ira, you enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't already, go follow us on the On Blast Official Facebook page and Instagram. And follow us on TikTok too, OB Podcast. And
I still have not seen anybody's depictions of us on TikTok, and I'm a little disheartened. Come on, guys.
Give it time, Ira. This is a slow-moving train. Give it time.
I need some entertainment on TikTok.
All right, guys. Entertain Ira some way, somehow, whether it be on TikTok or Facebook. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel. You gotta help our brother out. So,
yeah.
Ira, I'm out. It's been a pleasure as always. You enjoy the rest of your day. To the On Blast podcast fam, we love you guys.